illegal ham in the face. But bro, where's the banjo?
Some Cleveland sports shows try to give you hot takes, but only one can give you a big old piece of hot ham. Welcome to Illegal Ham to the Face. Talking all Cleveland sports. And don't forget our Fat Boy Tuesday, where we also ham it up with some fun food topics. Without further ado, let's serve up some ham. Here are the Ham Boys, Fatty, and Big Bry.
I almost didn't add us to the stage tonight, Bri. Jeez, I almost had a Fatty fail right out of the gate. What's going on, everybody? Welcome on into Legal Ham to Face, another Tuesday edition. We're definitely talking some guards, some Browns, Bri, hot and spicy food and potatoes tonight. And then top three Browns, former Browns that we'd like to bring back to add to the roster. And this is going to get interesting tonight because I believe I got a couple that are going to blow your mind.
Okay.
I even said one, like I would love to see Justin Gilbert back on this team. That would be one of my great ones. James is here tonight. What's going on, James? Starting out tonight, we do have a fantasy football update. Everybody is back in the Illegal Ham to the Face Fantasy Football League. We will be setting up the draft. I believe, what is it, next Thursday?
I think that's what we're shooting for. What you and I talked about. That's Thursday, maybe 8 o'clock, 8:30, something like that.
That's what I'm thinking. Next Thursday, 8 o'clock. So please check your emails, check the text messages, everything else. Brian and I will be reaching out to you, let you know when everything is going down. Also, our show is brought to you by Harold Keel and Lake Erie APA. Also, City Dogs Cleveland. We had a great Miranda Lambert was at City Dogs Cleveland.
Is that right?
Here in town with Morgan Wallen. So there's
That's
pictures
awesome.
and videos of her with that. Justin said that would work. He gets out of class at 8 o'clock. So Justin's thumbs up for the 8 o'clock Thursday night. But yeah, cool. There's some videos. Go check out the at City Dogs CLE on their Instagram. They got videos of Miranda Lambert there playing with the puppies and everything else. So please go adopt. If you cannot adopt, volunteer, donate, do whatever you can to help out a city dog. All right, Bri, we're going to have a good show tonight. Let's get into our shout-outs. I do not have any shout-outs this week. Do you have any shout-outs?
Jeez, I don't know if you could hear that thunder. We got a storm rolling in down here. Did you hear that?
I heard it. I heard the background. We got one rolling in up here, too. So,
so my shout-outs are this weekend was a blast. It was just a lot of fun from so many angles. My brother was in town for the Morgan Wallen concert, like you were talking about. Him and my sister-in-law went to that. Sound like one of the best concerts they've ever been to. So got to see them a little bit, got to see my nieces and my nephews a little bit and just hang out with them. Also had a wedding, so wanted to shout out and congratulate my wife's niece, Reese, and her new husband, Connor. Golly. Big Guardians fans, big Cleveland sports fans. So got to get them to a Browns game at some point. But, yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a blast. Down in Worcester, beautiful place. Just a lot of fun was had by all. They had a caricature artist there, so wife and I got one of those. And he could have been meaner. We were both like, I hope he's kind of mean. I hope he's kind of, really accentuates the triple chin over here. The giant forehead I have or whatever. So, it was pretty realistic, pretty lifelike. So he did a great job.
All right. So there's one thing I got to bring up about Morgan Wallen. And everybody knows who Morgan Wallen is. Country star, pop star, whatever you want to call it. Does he not realize what the difference is between Detroit and Cleveland?
I guess not. I don't know. Maybe Cleveland doesn't have enough famous people out there that, or at least enough that were willing to walk with him or available to do it. So yeah, it was kind of a surprise to me when I saw Kid Rock out there on Friday.
How is Kid Rock Cleveland? What's he doing here? He came out with Miles. Now, granted, give Miles credit. going to the game, even though he didn't play, flying back and being able to make the Morgan Wallen concert that night. Kudos to Myles Garrett. But Kid Rock, of all people, like, you could have got anybody. Shit, MGK was here for 2 weeks. He could have brought his ass back here.
That's what I thought. I mean, that was kind of the first thought, that for sure he'll probably bring MGK out. So maybe he zigged when everybody thought he was going to zag. So,
well, I'm glad
yeah,
he got
I don't know.
Detroit here. That was great.
Maybe Morgan Wallen's like that WNBA player that didn't know the difference between Cleveland and Cincinnati. Maybe he doesn't know the difference between Detroit and Cleveland.
Justice said, could they get more white trash than Kid Rock? They could.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Craig, even the could have walked out with the Miz.
Right, that was another one I thought that came to my mind, was the Miz or Deep A. You know,
yeah.
There's a lot of Cleveland hometown heroes. Joe Thomas was there Saturday night, I guess, but he didn't walk out. So
Bernie, you could have walked out with Bernie. You could have walked out with anybody.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Bernie's, on the national stage.
It's not about national
he's going
stage. It's about
through
Cleveland.
some health issues. So I know, but for him, for Morgan Wallen, it's about the national stage. He's not just going to bring out, the mayor of Cleveland Heights or something that nobody knows.
That's true. All right, so Craig asked when the fantasy draft is. It's going to be Thursday night, Craig. We're thinking about 8 o'clock. We'll hammer everything out, and we'll let everybody know. Please check your emails. Bri is going to start up the league, send out emails to everybody. So, and everybody knows the wrinkle this year. Bri is going to make it more even. So points are going to be different for tight ends, wide receivers, and quarterbacks and running backs to make it more of an even. So Craig said, sounds good. Craig, I apologize about your draft for your league. My wife just got back from West Virginia. Seriously, 15 minutes before the draft started. So I apologize for that because I was unloading the car and everything else while that was going on. So there's Lil.
Hello. Yeah, she loves the Thunder. So
I bet she does.
She'll be barking. Hey. Yeah, she's quite excited.
Is that your Thunder buddy, like from Ted? You guys have a song that you guys sing together?
I think I'm her Thunder buddy. Oh, it was. I've noticed. So there's a chain reaction that happens in this house. We had a storm roll through about 2 a.m. like maybe a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and now with the baby, we can't just let the dog go crazy. So as soon as there's a clap of thunder, the dog starts barking and going nuts. That causes my wife to lean over, smack me come out of a dead sleep, sit up, and run after the dog without even like any instruction or anything like that. So, yeah, it's happened a few times over the last couple months. I don't know, I wish I got up for work. I wish I got up for my alarm. Like I pop up as soon as she smacks me.
That's great.
But
that's great.
Yeah, not great for me. Then the adrenaline's pumping. I'm like, what am I doing? And I can't fall back asleep. So we'll have to figure something out like that.
That's one of those you get slapped, you wake up. All right, who's dead? Who's dead? I'm up.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but because that's kind of what it takes to pull me out of a deep sleep sometimes, is a firm slap. So as soon as I do that, I hear the dog bark, and I guess I just go into action.
All right, well, let's get to our show, bud. Let's do some trivia. We'll make this a good show tonight. Make it quick because I know you're on a time clock, so let's have some fun. Trivia is brought to you by City Dogs Cleveland. If you can, please go adopt a city dog. We love them. Beautiful dogs like this beautiful pup right here. Look at that beautiful pup. You can go adopt them. By the way, I did get because I played the video last week, Bri, got a little copyright infringement on it, and they took it down off of our Spotify. So just let you know.
Who did? Take the...
Oh, Spotify knocked
City
it off.
Dogs. City Dogs wouldn't take it down though, would they? Spotify does something.
No. Spotify took it off as our podcast. So if you're looking for audio on Spotify, it's not there. They took it down because of I played the Instagram video and it had copyrighted music with it. So I'll be
give me a freaking break.
I know, right? Like we're trying to get dogs adopted here from City Dogs Cleveland. Hey, Bri, let's just put it this way. And another fatty fail. It's just
is that a new one?
That's a new one because I lost the old ones. By the way, Justin's in here. Justin, we still need a Bri fail to add to the fatty fail.
Oh boy.
So we're going to need one of those. All right, Bri, trivia tonight, which is brought to you by City Dogs Cleveland. Go adopt a City Dog. If you cannot adopt, volunteer, donate. Also, they're still doing their thing for $10,000. I believe they are still in first. So please go vote for them. You can go to their City Dog page on Facebook, also on Instagram. They have the link there. Click it. You can vote every day, Bri. Once every day you can vote to help out them and get them $10,000 for the kennel. So please go help them out. Also, I believe this weekend coming up is $21 adoption weekend, Bri, our favorite. So go clear out those kennels. All right. Bri, I told you I had a college one for you tonight. Now, I got this trivia from somebody that I will not say who it is until you answer the trivia at the end. Okay?
Okay.
So the sanctions/fines came down for Michigan this week. And boy, what a slap on the wrist you guys got, but it's okay.
I told you. I tried to tell you. I mean, a lot of state fans didn't want to listen to me. I'm like, it's not that big of a deal. You guys want to make it a big deal, but it's really not.
You know, when we get national championships taken away from us, you know, it kind of is a big deal sometimes.
I understand. But,
Bri, with that being said, who in the Big Ten has the most vacated wins in the Big Ten?
For football. Okay. Gotcha.
All right. So let's get in our show. Let's get the Cleveland headlines popping. And Chris isn't here yet, but he'll find it later. All right, here are your Cleveland headlines for tonight, Bri. I believe we have 38 or 39 games left in the Major League Baseball year. The Guardians are 3.5 out of the wild card. Also, still 8 games back of Detroit. Bri, it's going to be a tough stretch. They're going to have to. They did get swept by the Braves, but they won one last night in Arizona. They play again in Arizona tonight at 9:40. Bri, it's going to be close. They're going to have to play some good baseball here down at the end of the stretch, which they have been. The one thing I do have to say, what's been really refreshing is Manzardo is still hitting the ball well. CJ Kafis. Bri, we should have called that kid up probably at the end of May. Like, that kid has just been a difference maker. And there's other people that I believe need to go that I believe are wasting a roster spot here, but for some odd reason they love him, like David Fry. I love David Fry, but until you
come on, that's my guy.
Until you can throw a ball again, you're just wasting time here.
Well, put him at DH.
He is at DH, but he only DHs against left-handed pitchers.
Well, that's a Stephen Vogt problem.
Well,
he's allergic to hitting some guys against left-handed pitching.
No, it's the analytics, Bri. It's the analytics. Don't you start talking. Hey, speaking of analytics, we'll get into Cleveland Browns here in a little bit, but it's the analytics, Bri. Analytics.
Sure. I guess. Yep.
Well, we'll keep an eye on them here with the last 30 games going on. We'll kind of keep you updated what's going on. I believe tonight Tanner Bybee is on the bump in Arizona against, I don't even know who Arizona's pitcher is. Don't even care. We're going to
I heard today Todd Schmeckman.
Todd Schmeckman. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
Pretty good. 5.8.
Is he related to a McMunn?
Oh. No, that's their middle reliever.
Okay. All right. I gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Yeah, we'll get into that. Talk about Isaiah Bond. People are kind of let's just switch over. Everybody wants to talk football, and
It's football season. Come
it's
on now.
football season. All right, Bryce. So we had game 2 of the preseason. Shador did not play. Flacco did not play. Pickett is, I don't know where Pickett's at. He's got a bandage on his hamstring, obviously because his little baby hands can't reach back here and massage it or something. I don't know. But Snoop Huntley played the last, 2 quarters or whatever it was. Bry, after everything that's happened with Sanders for the first game, we finally got to see Gabriel the second game. Now, Bry, I don't think he looked as good as Sanders, but Bry, he looked a lot better than what people were telling us he looked. From what the national media and the beat writers here are saying, he looked horrible. It looks like he shouldn't even be a competent quarterback. Bry, he didn't look too bad to me. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think he was competent. Like I said last week, I kind of maybe more or less grade the preseason, especially rookies who are seeing their first action as a pass fail, and I'd give him a pass. Um, was he flawless? Absolutely not. I probably agree with you that Shador's maybe looked a little bit better. Just because even though I think Gabriel's numbers might have been better. I mean, he had a couple turnovers, but as far as his passing stats and yardage, I think that was maybe slightly better than Sanders. But from the part I saw, the few drives I saw, because I didn't see the entire game, it just looked like he had to work so hard sometimes to get these passes off and to just kind of scrambling around in the pocket. He kind of looked skittish in the pocket at times, where Shador just looked more comfortable back there. And so I don't know if that's like a product of his height to where he feels like he's got to like move around these giant linemen and just to get to his throwing lane. So maybe that's something that we'll kind of keep an eye on. I didn't watch a ton of him when he was in college. Other than a couple games, but I wasn't really paying attention to what kind of quarterback he was and what kind of mechanics he had. But yeah, I think he was better than what we were hearing he was going to be. And so I would be interested to see him again. Unfortunately, I don't know if we'll see Shador or him a whole lot more. We might see him in this final game against the Rams, but it sounds like Flacco might get a drive or two. If Pickett's healthy, he might play. I know they're kind of chomping at the bit to get him out there, but yeah, it wasn't bad. I don't know what more I would be expecting out of him, but yeah, it wasn't it wasn't too enjoyable to watch just because you could see how hard he's working back there to maneuver around in the pocket and just try to, at times it reminded me of Stefanski's play calls with Baker. The naked play action bootleg out the backside where nobody's there just to try to get him out in space. And so I'm not too interested in getting back to that, to where you have to call these certain plays for your quarterback and you have to get him in space and you have to make sure play. I'd rather have just a guy that you can treat like any other quarterback and call, the entire playbook rather than saying we have to cater to what he does well.
And okay, now I'm
okay.
I'm sorry. And I agree with you, Brian. I really do. For him to move around the way he did, now he did show some really great throws. That one out route that he dimed right in there, and it was across the field. Like, he's got the arm strength, Bry, and that's the one thing that I like to see. The other thing I don't like to see, though, Bry, is the mistakes. Now, the interception was a mistake. Now, do we know it was his mistake? Because it looked like it was just a mistake on everybody on that play. You had two guys within 3 yards of each other looking at each other like, am I supposed to catch the ball? Are you supposed to catch the ball? It was a weird situation with the interception. Now, the handoff, Brian, it's preseason. That shit will get handled in practice. Everybody has a botched handoff every now and then. Everybody has a botched snap now and then. But what I do like about him so far from what I've seen, Bri, is it looks like he can control this offense. Now they're setting up stuff for him and everything else, but it looks like he's competent enough to understand what's going on and where to put the ball and how to do it. And I'm not saying that Sanders can't, because Sanders did also. So, Brian, like you said last week, it's a good thing to having two quarterbacks that can actually do this, because guess what? At least we have two quarterbacks who know how to do this, and not like watching DTR. Oh, I'm so glad we got rid of DTR.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? So I think he did good. I mean, if I had to give him a grade, Bri, I would give him a C+. You know, he didn't have any touchdowns, but he didn't do anything too god-awful horrible. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm probably right in that ballpark as well. But there's part of me that I don't know if you saw the clip of Andrew Berry and Shador Sanders from the first week when they were on the sidelines talking, and it was just kind of awkward. Like, Andrew Berry's acting like a CEO of a company, and Shador Sanders is just kind of joking around and, you know, keeping it light with him. And so, you know, I think back to when the Browns went and got Watson, and the quote that we all heard was, they're looking for an adult in the room. And so I wonder if they kind of view Dylan Gabriel as that adult in the room, and maybe Shador is kind of like a lottery ticket. And you know, Shador, his personality is infectious, and you see a lot of his dad in his personality. But I also kind of think of like Brett Favre. You know, that's what made Brett Favre so popular. Now he had to play to back it up, but he had like that childlike joy when he was on the sidelines. And so I think you kind of see that coming through with Sanders. And so I think that kind of scares the Browns a little bit, that they want maybe somebody who might come off as a little more mature, a little more corporate like to lead their multi-billion-dollar franchise. So yeah, it was just something that kind of caught my eye, seeing that interaction between those two guys, and then seeing Dylan Gabriel, and I'm sure we'll get to his sideline interview, but I think he's maybe a little more buttoned up as far as they're concerned than Shador is, and you know, you can understand why. You know, he's a bit older. Shador grew up in a household with prime time, so you know, he's not going to be the most the most buttoned up guy. You know, he's going to kind of be himself because it worked for his family, worked for his dad, and it continues to work for his dad. But at the end of the day, it's all about the product that you put out on the field.
Yeah. And before we get into the comments of the interview with Didi, with Dylan Gabriel, Brian, was there one person that stood out to you in this preseason game that you kind of just took a step back and said, okay, I see you, kid. I see what you got? Because for me, you know, a lot of people have been talking about him, and I've seen a little bit of that. Gabe, I can't even pronounce his last name.
Gage Larvadan.
Yeah, Larvadan. Dude, I'm telling you what, Deontay Johnson is not looking good at all. I don't think he's going to make the team, Bri. But I'm telling you what, they love this kid, and he does everything they ask. And he seems like one of those players, Bri, that reminds me of like Gary Barnidge back in the day. Like, just he's going to be in the right spot at the right time. Like, he's just going to be there. He's going to be there almost, I wouldn't say Cooper Kupp. God forbid nobody's like Cooper Kupp. But he's going to be in the right spot at the right time he's going to be the safety valve for these quarterbacks. And I kind of like what I'm seeing from this kid. What about you?
Yeah, I agree. I want to see more of him. And what really frustrates me as a Browns fan is it seems like we have a guy kind of like this that kind of shows up and shows out in the preseason, and the Browns just never give him a chance. So, I mean, based on what I've seen in the past, I'm assuming he's not going to make the team. They might hide him on the practice squad, and maybe we might see a small snippet of him in week 13 or something like that. But the Browns just don't do this. And I think what's also frustrating to me is they always kind of kick the ball down the road And they always tell us, well, we're going to look into evaluations and do this. And I feel like they don't do any evaluations on the fly. They have their mind made up on who's going to make the team, back in July. And so, if there's an injury that happens or something, then they might readjust and maybe think one guy suits what they need better than another guy. But like as we're seeing with the quarterback depth chart, there's nothing that's going to change unless one guy is just absolutely terrible. As far as I'm concerned, the depth chart for the quarterbacks is going to be Flacco, Pickett, Gabriel, and Sanders on week 1. And nothing's going to change regardless of what happens the rest of the way, regardless of what has happened throughout the preseason. The Browns are just stubborn. They think they know better than you. And, even though a guy is clearly up, try to name most teams carry 6 wide receivers. But the Browns, because they're probably going to carry 4 quarterbacks, they might only carry 5. But I mean, this Isaiah Bond, I'm obviously very interested to see because he was supposed to be a high prospect coming out from Texas, and surely Jerry Judy's our number 1, maybe Cedric Tillman. So there's three wide receivers. I'd venture to say Gage Larvidan is number 4 in my book right now. Tell me this Carter is better than him. I haven't seen him at all. Everyone talks about
Thrash too, bud.
Well, I don't. Yeah, I'd take Larvidan over Thrash. What have you seen from Thrash that's impressed you? He was a 5th round pick from Andrew Berry, so surely that gives him a spot for the next 3 years in their minds. But I'm more concerned about what shows on the field, and it's just, as a Browns fan, it's frustrating because we'll hang on to these Michael Woods, we'll hang on to these David Bells, we'll hang on to these Anthony Schwartz until it's like, okay, enough's enough. Let's just get rid of them. When we could have had these other guys who have proven it on the field were maybe undrafted, and we just chose to go with, a scouting report from 3 years ago.
Yeah. James, if that is true, you have to send me the link for it because before I bring it on here, send me a link, make sure that, it's actually true that happened. All right, Brian, let's get into we'll get into the comments from Gabriel. Flacco is your starter going into week 1. I think everybody knew it. It wasn't like the hidden secret they wanted it to be. And there's comments behind that, Brian. I talked to you about Batonio doing the interview with Aditi Kikubala there on CBS. And he had an interview there. She was talking to him about why you didn't retire. He said last year just left a bad taste in his mouth, all this stuff. And then she said to him, what's it like having Joe Flacco back in the quarterback room, back in the huddle, everything else? Now, you and I talked about this, Brian. We talked that this was a bone thrown to the veterans to be like, hey, we're signing Joe Flacco. There's going to be a veteran. There's going to be an adult here that you guys can kind of get behind, that you guys liked and everything else. Joe Batonio pretty much came out and said it in his interview. Said, hey, it's nice having him back. He's a great leader in the huddle. It's nice having him here. So it's pretty much true what happened is they signed Joe Flacco just to appease the veterans in the locker room so that they didn't think that it was going to be a shit show going down with Kenny Pickett and then a whole bunch of rookies. They wanted them to think that the veterans, hey, we're going to try to win. We're going to try to win with Joe. Are you guys behind that? And it pretty much came out that way over what Batonio said. I mean, are you shocked by that, Bri?
No, not at all. No, I likened it to when we first signed him. I likened it to, going on a date, maybe 3-4 dates with a girl, and they're absolutely fantastic, flawless. And then all of a sudden it abruptly ends. And for the next year or 2 or 3 or 4 years, you're going to be thinking, man, that was unbelievable. If only we could get back to that. And that's where some of the Browns players' heads are. It came to an abrupt end in the playoffs, but before then, he's doing things no Browns quarterback has ever done before. Mm-hmm. And so I understand the intrigue, especially from the players. Like, man, if we had that Joe Flacco who's putting up 300 yards and, 3 touchdowns, and as time goes on, your memory gets murkier and you forget about the the interceptions. You forget about how we barely beat the Bears that year, and how we're playing like backups a lot. So you remember the good times, and you look at the stat books, and you think this guy's great. Let's get back to that, and we'll be fine. And so, yeah, I understand why Batonio, Miles Garrett, all these other guys are like, let's get the band back together, and we can make magic once again. But it's, to me, looking back on that, it was almost like a fairy tale. It was like a Disney movie that this guy comes off his couch and everything goes right. Now I think he can still have success. I just don't think he's going to go, winning 4 out of every 5 games, taking us to the playoffs. Now, crazier things have happened. I was thinking the other day that the difference between the Browns and the Steelers isn't that much. We both have good defenses. We both have 40-year-old capable quarterbacks. We both have young running backs. We both have a number 1 wide receiver. And people think, well, the Steelers are going to go 10-6, 9-7, and the Browns are going to be one of the worst teams in the league. And to me, they're on level playing field. The only reason they think that is because the Steelers every year find a way to make it happen, and the Browns every year find a way to blow it. But roster construction-wise, they're pretty similar.
Yeah, honestly, they are. I didn't even think about it like, oh, God. Why are we comparing ourselves to the Steelers? But by the way, breaking news for the Steelers, because James just sent it to me. They signed Odell Beckham Jr. to the wide receiver room. A 1-year, $5.5 million deal to the Steelers.
Reeks of desperation. $5.5 million for that guy who hasn't done anything in the league for 3 years, maybe?
Well, let's go a little bit more than 3 years. He had one. Hey, he was like Deshaun Watson. He had one game. He had one game in the Super Bowl where he did something, and then that was kind of it. Didn't do shit here in Cleveland. Didn't do shit everywhere else that he went to. Most overrated wide receiver there's ever been.
I'm like a bitter Browns fan there.
Oh, no, I didn't like him to begin with, Bri. The hype from him with just the one catch that he had a couple good years, and then everybody just anointed him as the best of the best, and Bri, guess what? We got the best of the best. You know what we got? We got a trash can.
Sounds to me like a wide receiver down in Columbus right now. A lot of hype, not a lot of production. A lot of hype, though. Best receiver God has ever made, I guess, from what I've heard. Kind of like I heard with Marvin Harrison Jr.
We'll see you in November, buddy. We'll see you in November.
It's just the hype is out of control with that kid.
I know it is. I agree with you, too. I know it is. I agree with you on that one. All right, Brian, let's get into and Chris brought it up. The reason why Pickett is the backup and not the 4-string is because they believe that he is better suited. Actually, I thought he was going to start the year, but I think this hamstring injury kind of hampered that. But they believe if they traded a 5th-round pick to get him from Philly and brought him in here, they think highly of him. And that from what I'm hearing from the locker room and everything else is they love Kenny Pickett. They love his energy. They love his stuff. So I don't know. I don't know. If it was me, I would not have Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett would be the odd man out here, and then you would have the 2 rookies backing up Joe Flacco. But, hey, Browns are the smartest people in the room. So they're going to tell us how they're going to do this, and they'll probably backfire in their face like everything else has for the past 30 years. But I don't know. But Dylan Gabriel,
like we said when Kenny Pickett was signed, he's the ultra backup plan. He's the backup to the backup plan. Mm-hmm. Like at the time they traded for him. Excuse me. When they traded for him, the Browns had 0 quarterbacks on their roster, 0 healthy quarterbacks on the roster.
There we go.
And so, who knows if Flacco was still mulling retirement. At that point, we didn't know. We knew we'd like Dylan Gabriel, and we were going to try to draft him before anybody else had a chance to. We didn't know we were going to get Shedeur Sanders in the 5th round. So, I think that's why they're like, well, Kenny Pickett can't be worse than DTR. So let's just trade one for the other. If we have to give up a 5th-round pick, so what? Maybe we can turn him into something. But yeah, it just hasn't worked out for him. So yeah, I think it's time to send him goodbye. But I don't think they will, because I think their egos will get in the way, because they know if they just cut Kenny Pickett, everyone's going to come out with, you gave up a 5th-rounder for this guy who you're just going to cut. How stupid are you? Or if you trade him for, say, a 7th-rounder, like that might even be worse. Like you traded a 5th-rounder for him, and then a couple months later you get a 7th-round in return. You got to be the dumbest SOB in all of NFL. And so, yeah, I think they're, at the end of the day, their egos are going to get the best of them. But I wish, just take a stand. Just please don't take 4 quarterbacks to the regular season. You can't choose between. You can't cut 4 down to 3. Give me a break. Have a backbone. Take a stand on something.
God, I love it when you start. Yeah, I agree with you, but
they won't. They'll take 4.
There's going to be 4 quarterbacks going
in. I agree. Right.
Speaking of quarterbacks, Bri, were there shots fired over across the fence with Dylan Gabriel's comments on Saturday afternoon about I am here to compete. I am not an entertainer. Some people think he took a shot at Shador. Other people have said that that's what he is, and blah, blah, blah. Bri, do you think he took a shot at Shador?
I do. I think when he made that comment, he had Shador in mind. I don't think it's personal with Shador, though. I don't think he dislikes Shador. But I think he's just so tired of hearing it from all the media, hearing it from all of social media. And I think it just came out in that comment. And I think he probably regretted that comment after he made it, because now he's got to explain it. So, yeah, I think he probably wishes he had it back a little bit. But I think he had definitely, and maybe he was speaking more to the media in their perception of Shador, and just the obsession that they have talking about him constantly. So I think that finally got to him, and this was like his first time to speak out on it. And he didn't want to go out and completely rip his teammate, but he probably had just a quick comment about it, and moved on. And it happens to me too. It happens to all of us, where you say something and it feels good to get it off your chest because you've put it out there, and now people, might think like, oh yeah, maybe he is just an entertainer. But at the end of it, then you have to deal with the repercussions and the questions and everything, and the backlash of that and all the drama that it brings. And so you probably regret it a little bit. And so I kind of think that's the mindset he was in.
Bri, I'm kind of with you, but honestly, I think it was an obvious shot at Shador.
You don't think he regrets it?
He might, but at the time, I don't think. I'm kind of like you. I don't think it was a shot at Shador personally, but he has been bashed on social media, in the news, everything else. And every news thing is about Shador Sanders. It's not about Gabriel, who was picked 2 rounds above Shador.
Mm-hmm.
It was about Shador Sanders. It's like, oh, look at him. He's out in the public. What is Dylan Gabriel doing? Oh, look at this. He's doing this. What is Dylan Gabriel doing? And he's been hearing this ever since they got drafted. And it's like, okay, dude, I love you personally, but this has blown out of proportion. And I'm here to compete for an NFL job. I'm not here to go out and make friends. I'm not here to go out and do this. I'm not here to go out and do this. I'm here to be an NFL quarterback. And it seems like they're trying to pump the media. And, dude, we're doing it too. We've done it too, trying to pump this Shador train all the way up, while there was another quarterback that was drafted before him that the Browns had at the top of their list that they liked. And just, I think he just, like you said, finally got fed up with everything, went out. Now, I would have done it on a better note of throwing 4 touchdowns and, 300 yards and all that stuff. I wouldn't have done it on a pick six and a botched fumble, but he played good enough. But you know what I mean? Like, I think he finally went out, played, felt good about how he played. And then it's like, you know something? You guys suck. This has been miserable for me. I've had to sit here and listen to this crap. I've had to listen to this Shador hype train, and I'm still here. I'm here playing too. I'm the one taking reps with the ones. You guys are going, well, why isn't Shador taking reps with one? Well, why aren't you asking, why isn't Dylan Gabriel taking reps with ones? Or why is he taking reps with ones? Why is he doing this? Why is he doing that? And I think that's what I think he finally just got fed up with everything, Bri, and he just, he cocked back, shot his shot, and I don't blame him for it. I probably would have been upset, and I probably would have said something like that too. You know, and yes, does he probably regret saying it the way he did? Yes, because he had to go back the next day and say,
oh, yeah.
You know, but we've all been there. We've all done something like that you can't take back, but it felt good, like you said, to get it off your chest. This has been pinned up since the draft in April, Bri. Like, this has been pinned up for 4, 5, 6 months, and he finally got it off his chest. So let him get it off his chest. Everything will be fine afterwards. Him and Shador will hug it out, and they'll be fine. But I do think it was a shot at Shador.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it may be, like I said, maybe not him personally, maybe just his persona, maybe all the attention he's getting. I was just talking to my wife earlier about, at her job, somebody is having more success than her in the company's eyes. People think, oh, this guy's doing great, but maybe he's not doing everything by the book. Maybe he's not completely ethical with what he's doing. But in their eyes, he's having more success. Like, how frustrating is that, to know that you're doing everything that you're supposed to be doing. Somebody else is just getting more hype and more attention than you. And yeah, you want to come out and you don't want to be a snitch. You don't want to go out and just constantly complain about it, but you want to take your little digs here and there and be like, it just makes you feel better because it's frustrating to you that you're doing everything that you're supposed to be doing, yet somebody else is seemingly having more success than you, even though, you think you're doing pretty good. So yeah, I can sympathize with Dylan Gabriel in that sense. But at the end of the day, you have to do your best to block all that out and just concentrate on the football, because at the end of the season, next season, in 2 years, it's really just going to matter what happens on the field. But yeah, it's hard to do that in the moment.
All right. Now, Bri, before we get into Fat Boy Tuesday, they did sign Isaiah Bond, who had a sexual assault allegation against him. They've cleared him of that. Supposedly, Bri, rumors are swirling that he took a polygraph test. The Browns made him take a polygraph test before they signed him to his contract. Those are some weird rumors that happened. Also, Quinshon Junkins. Jesus God. Both Junkins.
Judd with a D.
Judd. It doesn't matter, Brian.
I've heard a lot of Ohio State fans. I'm a big Ohio State fan. Yeah, I like that Quinshon Junkins. Like, you don't even know the dude's name.
That D is silent, Brian. It's silent.
I laugh a little bit. Sorry. Go on.
No, he is. They're not prosecuting him. That is done and over with. But he is still not signed with Cleveland Browns. They're waiting for the NFL to kind of go through their process. Now, Brian, I brought up this question because this is probably going to be the dumb fan of me. Brian, he's not signed with an NFL team right now, right? So if
Jenkins?
He's not, yes.
Correct.
So if he's not signed with an NFL team right now and he's not under contract with an NFL team right now, how can the NFL punish him for he's not signed with anybody? This all happened before he signed with anybody. So how is he going to be punished for something that he did before he was signed with an NFL team?
Can I tell you the reason? And this is something to remember going forward and for as long as you can remember. The NFL makes the rules. They do whatever they want. Okay. It's their league. Well, they could suspend you from something you did when you were 12 years old if it comes out and it makes them look bad.
Yeah, and there's Justin, because the NFL does what it wants. I was just curious because this all happened, like, if you're at a job and the job goes, hey, we're going to suspend you for 3 weeks because of something that happened a year ago. You're like, hold on, how is this? I wasn't even working here when this happened. You're going to suspend me for 3 weeks? Like, how is this right?
Absolutely.
Like,
it's all
curious.
The NFL's entertainment, and it's all PR. If you make them look bad, doesn't matter when you made them look bad, they will make you pay.
Well, it seems
you don't even have to be, as we saw with Deshaun Watson, you don't even have to be convicted of anything. If you just bring negative publicity to them, like I said, I could accuse you of something, anything, pick it out of thin air. You do this, you do that, and just imagine your job coming and saying, well, because he accused you of this and you made us look bad, we're going to have to give you X amount of days off. That's basically what the NFL does.
Oh, thank you for clearing that up for me, Brian. I was just,
it's frustrating, as an NFL fan.
It was just a curiosity thing. That's all it was, because I didn't know if they signed anything after the draft, like a personal conduct just for the NFL and not the team. Because they got drafted and they're in the NFL and all this stuff. I didn't know. Those are questions I was just asking.
Yeah, that's why I don't, even though this Bond, as we started talking about Isaiah Bond and his issues, even though it seems like nothing's going to come of that in the court of law, doesn't mean he won't be suspended. He might be, he might not be, he might be. It's up to the NFL. If they decide that they want to suspend him, then they will. They don't have to have any cause. They don't have to have any court documents that says he's guilty of this. They can just do it because he brings bad publicity.
Real quick, do you think because they signed Isaiah Bond to a fully guaranteed contract for 3 years that he makes the 53-man roster?
Oh, 100%. Yep.
That's what
he's
I thought too.
Pencil him in.
That's what I thought too.
Fully guaranteed. And also, you hear he was round 2, maybe early round 3 draft pick before this issue, and then he goes undrafted because of it. And so, he's a talent. The Browns definitely, as long as he doesn't get in any more trouble, the Browns feel like they absolutely stole him, and he can be a player for them. And so, yeah, right now when we're in the thick of it and it's still recent, you have his allegations on your mind. It kind of feels icky, but come November, if he's looking like Jalen Waddle, he's gonna be like, man, that Andrew Berry, he's a genius.
I do have one
Just
more
how
shot.
Pro
fired.
sports are.
One more shot fired over the bows. ESPN Cleveland media has got to work on their stuff. They put out, before we came on the show, Bri, Isaiah Bond catching a pass with no defenders around him. It looked like it was just like a 7-on-7 or Pickett throwing the ball to him. And the caption was, look at this great catch by Isaiah Bond. Bri, he just jumped in the air and caught the ball. It wasn't even like a one-handed catch or spectacular. It was just a normal catch. And there was nobody near him. Nobody near him. I'm like, yeah, it was a great catch. That's like I threw to my kid. It was a great catch. I watched him do it. Like, come on, guys. Stop it with this mess.
It's the day and age we're in now. Everything on the internet is sensationalized. Like I follow this one account on Facebook, and they always sensationalize everything. Like Cleveland Browns star gets pulled over for DUI or something like that, and then you click on the story, it's a guy you've never heard of before, and they're calling this guy a star. And if he's a backup, if he's a second string guy, they call him a superstar, just to try to get click. And so that's all they're concerned about, is that you click on the picture or click on the article, and it's just, unfortunately, it's where we're at today.
I know. Brian, you ready to get fat and talk some food?
Sure.
Let's do it.
And now, it's time for Fat Boy Tuesday.
Damn right, it's time for Fat Boy Tuesday, and today, Bri, is National Hot and Spicy Food Day and also Potato Day. So we're going to be talking some hot and spicy and some taters today, Bri. Tater-wise, we all know what we like. The cheesy taters with the cornflakes on top. We love hash browns. We love french fries. Bri, if you had to narrow it down to three tater dishes that you could eat for the rest of your life, what would those three tater dishes be?
Gosh. Well, yeah, you got one with the cheesy potatoes. Cheesy potato casserole.
Right?
Gotta be one. French fries, I would put 2, just because they're so versatile.
Mm-hmm.
And then 3 gets difficult because I think it's down to like tater tots, mashed potatoes, baked potatoes, and hash browns. Something for breakfast. So I think tater tots are probably too close to French fries. I think hash browns you could maybe do without. Gosh, I'd probably say baked potato.
Okay.
Yeah, a little versatile. You can dress it up a little bit. If you wanted to, you could cut it into pieces and kind of make almost home fries with it. So, yeah, if you're pinning me down, I guess I'll take those 3.
I think you're missing one, and Justin hit it here. Justin said
Potato
french fries, potato cakes, and potato chips.
Yeah, potato chips. You're right. Probably be better for me, my health wise though. Getting rid of potato chips, never eating those again. Potato cakes though.
Oh yeah.
Oh. And they're good. Don't get me wrong, but to have that as one of your 3, I don't know if I could do that.
James said mashed taters, fries. Right, I'm gonna go a little different from you. I'm gonna go with the baked potato because I could pretty much eat a baked potato. Yeah, I could eat a baked potato. Number 2, JoJo's. I cannot.
Okay.
Because, dude, it's pretty much a French fry, potato wedge. You can have JoJo's with pretty much anything. JoJo is my number 2, and probably number 3, Bri. And can I combine them together, either the scalloped or au gratin potatoes?
Okay. I'll give you one. Yeah, to me, those are the same thing. Yeah, I don't really know. Yeah, I don't know the difference between the 2 of those, but yeah, okay, I'll give you that. That's kind of similar to a cheesy potato. I think it's a step below, but you maybe think a step above. Do they put bacon on it?
You can. I mean, I wouldn't see why not.
Sure,
I mean,
put bacon on anything.
Bacon goes with everything. Bacon is the best meat condiment there is.
The only, I think, in my opinion.
You got brisket that can go on some stuff. You got
take bacon.
You got some stuff going on. Little pulled pork. Oh, might want to plug in my
princess.
No, you're fine. I got an energy saver on my. I didn't plug in my laptop while I was up.
Well,
so another fatty fail tonight. Brian, is there an underrated tater that? I don't think there's an underrated tater, is there?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they're all pretty well known. Like, I feel like if I told you one, I would say cheese potato casserole. I don't know if everybody really does that or knows about it. But if you haven't, definitely look into it. Because, I think everybody does. French fries, mashed potatoes, baked potatoes, potato chips, maybe hash browns, home fries. Maybe those are a little underrated.
The one thing that I do miss, though, Bri, and my grandmother used to make it. Okay, obviously, this is back in the day when we used lard for everything. So she would get that cast iron skillet out, and she would throw a scoop of the wonderful, disgusting Crisco in there. And then she would actually slice them up like they're, just regular, like potato chip slices, except a little thicker. And she would do fried potatoes like that. She would throw onions in with them and do fried potatoes. And it was almost like her version of a French fry, but almost like a scalloped potato also. So it's kind of like the in-between a French fry and a scalloped potato.
Oh, I got one. Yeah, I just had it a couple weeks ago at the Medina County Fair. They're called ribbon fries. You had the ribbon fries?
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be underrated because I really only ever see them at fairs.
Mm-hmm.
But it's pretty close to a potato chip.
Yeah.
Think about it, but I still put like nacho cheese or ketchup on it or something. So I kind of treat it like it's a French fry, but it's maybe more of a potato chip.
Okay, I completely forgot about one before we get to hot and spicy. TGI Fridays tater skins.
Tater skins, that's right. Any tater skin.
The bacon and cheddar tater skins.
Right. We did forget about that. It's a treat for sure.
Let's get hot and spicy, Bri. 3 hot and spicy foods that you love.
Well, the first one that comes to mind is chicken. Any type of chicken. Probably prefer the chicken sandwich to anything else.
Ooh, okay.
But boneless chicken wings, any of that, any type of chicken. Hot and spicy. Other than that, gosh, I can't really think of. I just think of other things that I put hot sauce on. I guess eggs, breakfast burritos, anything with eggs really. Put some hot sauce on there. I can't really think. I'm not a big fan of like the flaming hot stuff. I don't think, to me, I'll eat it once in a while, like the Cheetos or whatever, if we have it, but I'm never seeking it. I'm never craving it. It's almost too hot, to be honest. But yeah, other than that, I can't really think of, other than the spicy chicken, maybe a spicy trail mix or snack mix, beer nuts, something like that, peanuts. Yeah.
Like the wasabi almonds or whatever they are.
Yeah, those are really good. I haven't had those in a while, but the wasabi stuff. Yeah, those are really good. I'm on board with that for sure.
I'm with you on the chicken. Got chicken wings. Got to have spicy chicken wings, stuff like that. Another one for me, Bri, Chipotle. You got to get Chipotle with a little kick to it, and
the hot sauce.
Well,
hot salsa,
not like the super hot salsa, but you got to have.
That's the hottest. That's the only one that I think they have a couple milds, and then they have like the Chipotle hot sauce. You'll be feeling that later.
Now here's one that especially if I am sick or it's wintertime, that I love, Bri. You got to throw chili in there. Chili is also
sure.
Got to have chili, hot and spicy.
Yeah, good call.
But the hot and sour soup that you get from Chinese places, have you ever tried that?
No, I haven't.
Oh, Bri, it is a perfect mix. It's got the heat to it that'll warm you up. Justice said hot toddies. That's more of a alcoholic drink. I don't get the spicy with that one, but
sure.
But
Mexican food, any tacos or nachos or something like that. Ooh. But yeah,
another one, Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary has to be spicy.
Really, I don't think I've ever had a Bloody Mary.
Oh, we gotta try. Do you like tomato juice?
I don't know. I don't think I've ever had that either. I would try it. It was one of those things. I don't hate it, so I would try
it. Yeah. Every time that I get a Bloody Mary, it's got to be spicy. And they normally throw in like the crushed red pepper flakes in it and then add in their own, Justice said, Indian food. Now, that is one pleasure I have not had yet. I've had stuff similar to Indian food, but I have not had true authentic Indian food. Habanero vodka. There's another one. Justice just coming out with a whole bunch of stuff.
So I got a question for you, and in your you talking about the hot or sweet and hot soup from Chinese got me thinking. I had dinner with my brother and sister-in-law, and we got Chinese, and he got the Kung Pao chicken, and he was eating that, and it wasn't bad, but he had like one pepper, and he was super spicy. He started sweating and everything, and I thought I was the only one who this happens to, and my wife
the
always
hiccups?
makes fun of me. Yep, the hiccups. Does that give you the hiccup? If you have really
No.
hot stuff, does it give you the hiccups?
No, I don't get it. It's
No?
only you, dude. That was.
Oh, you remember me doing it.
Oh, that was the hands down the best day I ever had. We were at Red Robin. You got the firecracker burger with the charred jalapeno on top.
Okay.
And we goaded you into eating that jalapeno. And you're like, this isn't nothing. But into it, the next 20 minutes you were hiccuping.
Yeah. So maybe it runs in the family. Yeah, I never really knew anybody else did that until my brother started getting it. I'm like, oh, yeah, see, must be in the genes, I guess. But oh, okay. Yeah, I thought you got excited because it happens to you too. But no, I guess I'm on an island.
No, you're not on an island. My cousin Vinny, it happened to him.
Okay.
One of my best stories of my cousin Vinny is we were driving home from a pizza place, and I asked them for their hot sauce, their hot sauce for the chicken wings, because I got like a Cajun dry rub. So we get in the car, we're heading back, and I had like a couple pieces left of pizza in the box. And I said, hey, eat some of the pizza on our way home. He's like, all right. He goes, oh man, marinara. And he takes the biggest dunk in. Before I could get it out of my mouth of like, he took the biggest bite. He hiccuped the whole way home. The whole way home, Bryce. So you're not the only one.
Okay. All right. And what's funny is I can feel it coming on like probably 10 or 15 seconds before it starts. And I'm just like, and it's not all hot foods. It's just certain ones, which is very weird. I'm sure there's some medical explanation for it, but yeah, there's just, oh, it sucks when it happens. You know, you almost have to shut it down and cool yourself down before you go back in for another bite.
God, I still remember the good old days of going to Red Robin.
Red Robin. Love Red Robin. I do remember that.
And sitting there and pissing off our boss because they had the bottomless fries. He's like, all right, you guys ready to go back to work? We got more fries coming. Give us a second. They bring them out and be like, hey, put another order down.
Oh, yeah. They bring you like 10 fries, 10 steak fries, and then, think that's going to hold you over. You're like, no, yeah, give me another one. Keep them coming until or you just bring out a normal size basket.
That's when your cousin grabbed him by the arm and be like, dude, you're going to have to bring us more baskets than this. Like,
I'm telling you, it was ridiculous. Yeah, I see the gimmick behind it that, oh, yeah, come on and get bottomless fries. People just get tired of waiting. So that's why they stop eating fries. Like, I've been waiting for 5 minutes for 10 more fries. I guess we could just go now.
Hey, send me out 5 baskets just to start out with.
Yeah, right. Throw them all together.
And then if I'm done, then I come back for more. Like, oh, God, I love it. All right, Brian, one more. Okay, who do you think culture-wise has the most spiciest food?
I would say America. I mean, I don't know. Well, I don't know what other countries have the ghost pepper and the Carolina Reaper and all these hot peppers that they make stuff out of. I admittedly am not as cultured to where I'm eating the spiciest Indian foods and Chinese foods, Japanese foods, but I find it hard to believe that anybody else has the Carolina Reaper, considered it's named after a state in America.
All right, so did a quick Google search because that's what we can do here. It says India has often cited having the hottest food overall. Other countries include Thailand, Mexico, and certain regions of China.
I don't think they were in the conversation. Yeah, if you would have asked me, what type of food is the hottest? Yeah, I think those are all probably there. But yeah, admittedly so, I probably haven't had the hottest dish that they have to offer.
No, and I probably wouldn't get that hottest dish because what goes in comes out, Brian. What comes out is sometimes is a spicy quesadilla also.
I like it.
Justin, Indian and Thai. All right, let's get into our top 3. That was Fat Boy Tuesday. Let's get into our top 3, and then we will close out the show with our trivia.
Yep.
All right, Brian will be back here in a second. He went to check on the kiddos. So for me, top 3 tonight, we are doing former Browns players that we would love to add to this 2025 roster. Top 3. So I will go first. Obviously, number 1 for me, the offensive line has been shaky. We haven't had a staple. Joe Thomas has got to be number 1. Take down the left tackle, make it good. Number 2 for me is going to be kind of weird, and it's only because we really don't have a dynamic playmaker, and the world has changed since the last time that he has played in the NFL. Number 2 for me, give me Josh Gordon back on this team. Give me a legit animal at wide receiver. And Bri, number 1 for me, and we're going to kick it back old school. The only one that did worth a damn back in the day, how Big Bri got his name. Give me Brian Sipe as a quarterback for this team. What about you,
Wow.
bud? I had Joe Thomas, Josh Gordon, and Brian Sipe. What about you?
Those are all good ones. Boy, I don't know. I left quarterback off my list, and I'm kind of regretting it right now. But we're just going to push forward.
Justin, that's a great one.
I got who's he got?
He's got Phil Dawson, Bernie, and Josh Gordon.
Isn't that funny? The one player that all of us have together is Josh Gordon.
Dude, he was electric. Like, there's no, if that kid could have kept his head straight, Bri, like, being dead serious. Like, when other people, national people, Browns media, everybody goes, that kid was different when it came to football. And it was, hey, it wasn't practice. It was in games. Like, he led the league. He led the league in the receiving. It didn't even play the entire 16 games.
Mm-hmm. He was, I mean, he could have absolutely been as good as Julio Jones. Maybe better.
Not better.
Yeah. So, yeah, Josh Gordon, I was going to put Braylon, but I think just Josh Gordon and just how he flashed, you know, and we're talking about guys in their prime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if there are many Browns wide receivers that were better than him. I thought about maybe Ozzie, but I got Josh Gordon was just on a different level. So he's one of them. Next one, Clay Matthews. I
forgot about Clay Matthews.
A difference-making linebacker, and I can't really remember. I don't think he was because we think of Clay Matthews Jr. and we think of how electric he was rushing the passer. I don't think Clay Matthews Sr., even though he had a few sacks, I don't think linebackers were used in that way back in the day. So just a guy that could really be a stalwart in the middle of your defense and just be a guy that the whole defense looks towards and be a guy that, you know, coming back to our current team, we lack leadership. Even though Myles Garrett is a great player, I think Clay Matthews could be the identity of the defense and really provide some leadership. And then, my number 1, maybe because we're a little too close still, I'm still jealous of the Houston Texans. Give me my Nick Chubb back. He's just, I know he can play in today's NFL. I've seen it from my own 2 eyes. I still think he was jobbed of, maybe one of the best careers running back has had in Cleveland outside of Jim Brown. And I really think last year he was just, they tell you it sometimes takes an entire year after you get injured to come back and really be your true self again. And I think, again, repeating what I've said many times is the offense last year didn't do him any favors. And I think this offense this year would really suit his strengths because we've seen it before. And I think he would absolutely be the Nick Chubb, maybe not, 100% of the Nick Chubb of old because he's a little older and because he has 2 bionic knees. But I think for sure he could have been 90% of the old Nick Chubb. And so it's going to hurt seeing him down in Houston. And not knowing what to do, because really I typically don't root for players when they go to other teams. I can't think of many.
You got to root for Nick Chubb, though.
I know,
Unless
right?
unless he's playing
when,
with the Browns, you have to root for Nick Chubb.
You know how much I love Braylon Edwards. When he went to the Jets, I didn't follow Braylon Edwards. I didn't root for him. He was dead. He
was
not
trash.
him personally, but he was just I didn't follow him and root for him. There's just not many guys that go and leave Cleveland that you actually pull for and want to see him do well.
We might have to do a either or next week. We haven't done that in a while because I want to bring up a couple of. And by the way, Justin, Jim Brown. Yes, I would love to have Jim Brown on the team.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he's the greatest of all time. So clearly, that's an easy one.
The one that you brought up a linebacker. I'm going to go honorable mention because a lot of people forgot he played here in Cleveland. Chris Spielman. Get Chris Spielman in his prime here in Cleveland. Like him and Clay Matthews, I believe they're both kind of the same. Your microphone's off.
Can you hear me now?
I got you now. We're good now.
Anything.
We had a little delay.
Yeah, I had a phone call coming in.
That's all right. All right, let's get into our trivia, which is brought to you by City Dogs Cleveland. All right, so City Dogs Cleveland, please go volunteer, donate, and adopt if you can. Did we lose Bri? Wait and see if Bri comes back. Yeah, hold on. I can't upload it yet. I'm still. I would love to load it. I love the picture. James, you got to wait for it. We got to wait for Bri to come back. Hopefully, Bri comes back. If not, I'll just give it to everybody because it's one that you wouldn't believe is going to blow your mind. Let me text him real quick. Let me remove him. But like I said, City Dogs Cleveland, they're doing a $10,000 fundraiser. Please, you vote every day. Go to their Facebook page, City Dogs Cleveland. Go to their Instagram, @CLE City Dogs. He is back. Bri, you're back, right?
Sorry. My mom called me, and then I was going to ignore it, and then she called me right back. So I'm like, well, I better answer it. The double call in a matter of 2 minutes. I'm like, all right, well, this could be something. So thankfully it's not. Everything's fine. She forgot that I was doing this tonight. So I'm like, all right, I'll call you back in 5 minutes.
Hey, I'll send her the link. She can join us next time.
Sure.
I'm done with that. All right, Bri. So who has the most vacated wins in Big Ten history?
I went with Ohio State just because that 1 year. Well, now that I think about it, I don't think the wins were vacated. I think they were just bowl ineligible, where they went undefeated. Is that correct, or were they vacated?
What wins?
There was 1 year, maybe in like 2012, where they went like undefeated, but they couldn't play for a national title.
That was a bowl sanction. That was not.
Okay, so that was a ban, a postseason ban. Okay.
Yes.
Yep. So I wrote it down thinking that was one of it, but then now I don't know. I'll say Minnesota.
Not even close. It was Ohio State.
Oh, come on. You threw the loop-de-loop at me.
Hold on. There's a technicality, though, because Penn State had the most vacated wins with 111. But they got reinstated with their post-ban punishment and everything else. Ohio State has the most vacated wins with 12. And Big Ten.
Oh, so I was right with that one season?
With that one season. The Tattoo Gate was
taking that as a win.
12.
Yep.
I would too, but guess who sent it to me?
James.
Justin sent it to me and said, this is going to blow Bri's mind, and I don't want you to tell him that it was
didn't blow my mind. I had it.
But
you talked me out of it.
I didn't talk you out of it. You just asked if there was a postseason ban. I said, hey, they got a postseason ban. And just think, if they didn't have a postseason ban that year, 12-0 with Braxton Miller doing what he did, and Urban's first year coaching, wasn't it?
I can't. It might have been. Yeah,
I think it was. I think it was Urban's first year coaching because they went like 6-6 under Fickle.
Oh yeah, 6 and 7.
Mm-hmm. So, all right.
Yeah. Well, what a joke. I mean, you bringing up Penn State getting vacated 100 and some wins. What a joke the NCAA is. Give me a break. I can't wait for them to go away. It's just, I don't know. They're still hanging on to the little bit of power that they have.
Like, they don't even own the college football playoff now. So, like, at what are you doing? It's not the NCAA college football playoff. It's the college football playoff. You have nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt somebody needs to come up with rules for college sports, but basically treat it like professional sports, because that's basically what it is nowadays.
All right, we're here at the end of the show. Please go help out a City Dog from City Dogs Cleveland. We want to thank Harold Keel and Lake Erie APA. Also, be ready. There's going to be text messages. There's going to be emails coming out for the Fantasy Football League of the Legal Hand to the Face with the belt that's not back in the background, Bri. You took the belt down. It's okay.
We had my mother-in-law stay here last week, so
she can wear the belt too. It's your belt right
my
now.
Belt. It's my belt.
She can
for
do
me.
whatever.
my daughter doesn't even get to touch it.
Oh, bro, you gotta let her touch it. We gotta have baby fingerprints on that thing.
She's got to earn her own belt. She doesn't get to claim mine.
I have a feeling she's going to sneak away from you one day, and she's going to earn her belt all right. I
don't know what that means. I don't want to know what that means.
I'm talking like 1 month. You're going to be sitting on the couch, and you're going to be like, where the hell did she go? And then she's gone. Just
it happens already.
She's on the move now, man. It sucks when they're on the move. At least you got one. You didn't have two going two different directions.
I couldn't imagine. I do what Kevin Hart, I think, has a joke about how dads, whenever they're watching their kids, they just listen. They don't really watch the kids. They just kind of listen. What are you doing? Are you in the other room? Get out of there.
I love it. All right. We're here at the end of the show. Brian, God bless him.
Yep. God bless you. God bless America.
All right. We want to thank our troops, first responders, for everything you guys do for us. Cannot do this without you. Also, we are definitely uncorked, unloaded. We're out. We'll see you next Tuesday, hopefully with another Browns preseason win with Joe Flacco at the helm. See you guys then. Have a good night.
See you.